If you can't hear my voice, you raise a hand. All right, if you can't hear my voice, otherwise I think everyone can hear, right? Right, make sure everybody can hear my voice clearly. Right? Anyone cannot hear my voice? Okay, so all can hear my voice clearly. Okay, Caleb, Danielle, Jordan, start your video. All right, Miss Ong must tell you, anyone whose video is turned off, I will have to remove you from the lesson. Okay, and I'm serious about that. If your video is turned off, I will have to remove you. So Jordan, turn on the video. Danielle, Caleb. Okay, let's look at question 26. Okay, now this was a question that we didn't solve last week. So the figure below, not drawn to scale, all right, not drawn to scale, shows a square within the circle. And given that the square has an area of 196 cm square, find the area of the circle. So how do you find the area of the circle? Now, if you look at the square, what's the area? The area of the square is 196. And what do you call these two sides? You call radius, right? The two sides that you can see is radius, okay, radius. And over here is also the same, also called radius. So what is a radius? A radius is half of a diameter. And what is a diameter? A diameter is a line that cuts the circle into half. Okay, just a show of hands. Have you started circles today, this week? Anyone has started circles already? Karina started circles. Then the rest of you, Danielle started circles already. Okay, quite a lot of people started circles and I think we need to start circles also, all right, for this week. Okay, so what is a diameter? A diameter is a line that cuts the circle into half. And if you cut the diameter into half, then that is where you get the radius. Okay, the radius, which is half of a diameter. So how do you find the area of the circle in terms of pi? It means that your answer has pi inside. Okay, I want you to look carefully. Can you see this triangle, right? This triangle, which I'm going to draw over here, which I did last lesson. Okay, I did last lesson. So what's the area of this triangle? You take the 196, which is the square. The square is actually made of 4 triangles. So can you find the area of one triangle? So you divide by 4 and you will get 49. So the area of one triangle is 49. Okay, this is the area of one triangle. And if I take another triangle and I form a square, so what's the area of the square, which is 98? So the area of the square is 98 centimeters square. And do you realize that this is your area? The radius is also the side of the square. So the side of the square is also called a radius. So how do you find the area of the square? Radius times radius equal 98. Am I correct? Okay, the square is what? How do you find the area of the square? You take length times length, but instead of the length, there's a radius there. So radius times radius equal 98. So what is the area of the circle? All right, how do you find the area of the circle? Then you have something called pi r square, right? What is the formula? Remember the formula? So what is pi r square? Pi r square means pi times radius times radius. Okay, and your answer must be in terms of pi. So what is radius times radius? Isn't that 98? Radius times radius is 98, right? So what's the answer? 98 pi. So the area of the circle is 98 pi centimeter square. Okay, so what's the lesson here? Okay, now this is not easy, okay? Actually, it's quite easy, but also not easy at the same time. So to find the area of a square, the square is made of 2 triangles that you can see. So instead of calling one side of the square the length, all right, the length times length equal area of the square, we call it radius, radius times radius. Okay, so what is radius times radius, which is 98? If radius times radius is 98, then what's the area of the circle? Pi r square. So pi times 98. And that's how you get the area of the circle. Okay, Karina, you raise your hand. Yeah, what's your question? Karina?
What didn't you just find the diameter and then the pi times diameter?
Because I don't know what's the diameter. I don't know what is how long is the diameter. Do I know how long is the diameter? I don't know. The question never says. Okay, question never says how long is the diameter. Question also never say how long is the radius. So that's why it's not so simple. So you have to think a little deeper. All right, it's not so simple. Understand now? Otherwise, we can do it very fast already. We can just get the answer very easily. Okay, the rest of you, are you clear on how you do question 26? Okay, all right, let's go to our red swastika. Okay, let's switch the lesson now to your paper one. Okay, paper one. Okay, let's start. Okay, give me a while first. Miss Tong saw something, and give me a while. Okay, what happened? Okay, yeah. Okay, let's look at question one. Okay, we're going to revise what you have learned. So the first one is algebra. So same thing. Okay, by now you should be very good already. Okay, by now you should know how to do this question. So you circle the groups, right? Circle, 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 and put the groups with the same kind together. So your 9W, okay, 9W, put it together with 4W, and then put the whole numbers together side by side. Okay, put the whole numbers together like this, and then you will find that easier to do. So 9 plus 4 is 13W plus 8 minus 3, 5. So your answer is 13W plus 5, answer number 4. Okay, question number 2, parallelogram. How do you find angle A? When you see parallelogram, please mark out the arrowheads so that there's a very important property when you see two lines that are parallel. What is the important property? Look for Z. Okay, you can see that you can see what? There's a Z. Okay, there's a Z. When there are two lines parallel, look for Z. This is 22. Then the other side here is also 22. Okay, what else? And you can also see another Z. If you look carefully, there's a Z, which is like this. So if this is 43, then this side will also be 43. So when do you look for a Z? You look for a Z when there are two lines that are parallel. And then there's a triangle, and sum of angles in the triangle is 180. So you take 180 minus 43 minus 22. Okay, all right. I want everyone to be my checker. If you see a mistake, you must tell me. Okay, so 180 minus 43 minus 22, and your angle A is 115 degrees. Okay, answer number 2. Okay, got it? Okay, now I also need you to understand something. If you look at the angle size, it's obtuse angle. So if this angle is obtuse angle and you put number 1, you must know that it's wrong already. Because why? Because it's an obtuse angle. So definitely cannot be number 1. So this is how you check your answers. All right. Okay, let's go to number 3. Okay, there's a rhombus. ABCD is a rhombus. When you see rhombus, you need to mark out the sides. They are equal. Very important. All right, later on when you do the paper 2, you will realize that when you mark out the sides that are equal, you actually expose some triangles that are isosceles. All right, because if you don't mark out the sides, you will not be able to see those triangles that are isosceles. Right, that is for very hard questions later on. All right, so what do you know about rhombus? Rhombus has a line of symmetry. Okay, every time there's a rhombus, it's a symmetric, and the two triangles are exactly, okay, these two triangles exactly the same. So what do you mean by exactly the same? It means that this is 102, opposite angles are equal, all right? And how do you find these two angles, which is equal? And how do you recognize in an isosceles triangle? How do you know which two angles are equal? You take your finger, all right? Take your finger and put your fingers here where the two equal side meets. And you trace the line to the end. There's an angle here at the end of the line. Trace your finger to the end of the line that's equal. There's an angle here. So these two angles where your fingers move, all right? Those two angles are equal. So you take 180 minus 102, you get 78. And then 78 divided by 2, you get 39. So your angle M must be 39 degrees. And this angle 39, how about the other triangle? No need to think, okay? No need to write any, no need to work out any steps because the two triangles are exactly the same. Okay, so angle M is 39 degrees. Okay, I'm gonna go through very slowly so that everybody understand. Okay, question 4, right, this paper has a lot of angles. Okay, so there's an isosceles triangle, mark out. So which two angles are equal? The angle at the end of the line, that's equal. And the angle at the end of this line, they are also equal. Okay, these two angles are equal, right? Or let me use a red color. Okay, these two angles are equal. Okay, don't care about the question mark. You need to put the question mark onto your diagram, which is your BDC. And don't care about this question mark. Look for other angles you can find. How do you know it's 40? Because two lines cross each other, X. Okay, when you see two lines cross each other, there is x, opposite angles are equal. And then this angle here must also be 40. And then can you find the question mark already? Yes, 180 minus 40 minus 40, and your answer is 100. So your question mark is 100 degrees. Answer number 3. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, for those who are weaker in math, you need to have a good understanding on these properties, right? Then you can do well for then you can solve the harder questions already. These are more like the basic, right? These are all basic. Okay, next one, how do you divide fractions? Now there's a whole number there. You need to change the whole number into a fraction first. Then you divide by 5/8. Am I correct? Always change the whole number into a fraction first. Then keep the first fraction, change the divide to times and flip. Okay, flip upside down. And if you cannot cancel, then you don't cancel. Then you just 8 times 4. And then 1 times 5. Okay, and then change it to what? To a mixed number. So 32 divided by 5, 6 times 5 is 30, and there's a remainder 2. So what is your mixed number? 6 to 5. That is your mixed number. And your answer will be number 4. Okay, clear? Okay, right, let's go to question number 6. Okay, now this one is a fraction. All right, so what I will do is there are 2 methods. I can draw model, I can use ratio, but the answers are ratio. So let's use ratio method. So 3/8 is talking about what? Talking about David stamps. So David stamps has how many units? 8 units. And 3 units are foreign. So when you use ratio method, you need to label your ratio completely. So there's foreign and there's also local, and there is a total number of stamps. So how many units are foreign? 3. What is the total of David stamps? Total is 8 units, and the local is how many units? That will be 5 units. So what is the ratio of the local to the foreign? So be careful with the order. Local comes first, right? Then followed by the foreign. So 5 is to 3. Answer number 2. Okay, so you might make a mistake because of the careless order. Make sure you have the right order. Okay, the order must be correct. Okay, number 7. Okay, number 7, percentage. There are 180 boys in a book club. What is this percentage talking about? It's talking about the total number of students, which is 100%, right? And 60% of all the students are boys. How many students are there in the club? So 60% are boys, which is 180, right? And you want to find how many students, which is 100%. So you jump. Okay, you can jump. If you don't know how to jump, then you just find 1%. All right, so 180 divided by 60. Okay, no calculator. So you will have to know how to cancel. Divide by 10, divide by 10. Okay, 18 divided by 6 is 3. And then 1% is 3, 100%. Oh, by the way, what is 1%? 1% is 1 unit. Okay, 100% means what? 100 units. So you're writing unit statements, right? Which is actually easy to solve if you write unit statements. So 1 unit is 3, 100 units will be 100 times 3. So there must be 300 students. So answer number 3. So for the very hard problem, right, the paper 2 percentage problem, you will always see Mr. Ong write this way. Unit statements, right? Because it's easier to keep track of what you are doing. Okay, unit statements. Okay, question 8. A wire was used to form 2 identical semicircles. What is the length of the wire used? Okay, now if you look carefully, the wire is made of dark lines. Do not add the dotted line. Dotted line is not part of the wire. Shortcut. When you see identical shapes, right? Shortcut. You can do faster by joining them together to make a familiar shape. So 2 semicircles can actually join together, become a circle. So you just find the circumference of the circle, which is pi d. Okay, pi d. All right, so what is pi? Pi is 22/7. And what's diameter? Diameter is the line that cuts the circle into half. And the diameter is 14. So pi times 14. Okay, how do you multiply? No calculator. So how do you multiply? So you will have to change the whole number into a fraction. Okay, follow me carefully. Change the whole number into a fraction, and then you cancel, divide by 7, and 14 divide by 7. And then what do? Multiply the numerators, and you get 44. And then multiply the denominators, you get 1. So what's the length of the wire, which is 44 cm, or the circumference of the circle? Okay, circumference of the circle is also what? Also the length of the wire. So every time you want to find the length of the wire, you are finding circumference, not area, right? It's always circumference. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, no question, let's go on. Question 9, angles. Okay, I think someone told me they have a problem with this, right? Somebody, or was it, I think, is it okay? Right, okay, or something?
Stop. You're supposed to add a 12, and my mom just hit me.
Add a 12, add a what?
Supposed to add a 14 because there's an extra line.
But we don't add the dotted line because dotted line is not part of the wire. The dotted line is not part of the wire. Can you see a dotted line there? Dotted line, okay, hang on for a while. Okay, if you look at the diagram, can you see the dotted line? Dotted line is not part of the, it is not part of the wire. What is the wire? The wire is the dark lines. Are you clear? The wire is the dark lines. Every time you look at wire, it is the the black dark line. Okay, dotted line is invisible. It's not part of the diagram. Okay, it's not part of the figure. Okay, number 9, let's go on. In the figure below, ABCD is a square, and ABE is an equilateral triangle. You must do this. Okay, put the sides there. Okay, and then what do? Then put the question mark, which is BFE. So where is your BFE? Here. And don't care the question mark, look for other angles you can find. This is 60. This is 60. Let me just put over here 60. And this is also 60. All right, do that. Okay. And there is a square here. What do you know about square? Right angles. Okay, right angles. And when you cut the square into half, what did you do? You cut the right angle into half. Okay, so this is your P4. When you cut when you cut the square into half, you cut the right angle into half, which is over here, right? Okay, got it? So can I find this angle? Can you see this angle here? How to find the angle? The angle is 60 minus 45. Are you clear on this? All right, 60, where is 60? 60 is the right angle, the right angle here. Can you see that? 60, then 60 minus 45, you get 15 degrees, okay? And then what do? And then can you see there's a triangle here? All right, there's a triangle, right? And if there's a triangle, then how do you find the question mark? You can find the question mark because this is 60 degrees. And this is your 15 degrees. And what's the question mark? Then you take 180 minus 60 minus 15, and then do your working, right? So 180 and let me see, 180 minus 60 minus 15, you get 105 degrees. So your question mark is 105. Answer number 3. Sure? Are you clear? Understand? Clear so far? Those who are not clear, please raise your hand now because okay, then I'll explain again if I'm not so sure. We can have some time to answer questions today because the paper is all right. Okay, it's not very, it won't take a long time. Okay, let's look at question 10. All right, question 10. And how do you find the figure shows 2 circles. The radius of the big circle is twice the radius of the small circle. The radius of the small circle is 10 cm. What's the area of the shaded part? What's the method? Take away method. Find the big circle, take away the small circle, and you get the shaded part. So how do you find the big circle? Now, the small circle is 10 cm. Okay, 10 cm. All right. And the radius of the biggest, the diameter of the radius of the, hang on for a while, Mr. Make a little mistake here. The radius of the small circle is 10 cm. Okay, let me just write again. Okay, 10 cm. The radius of the small circle is 10 cm. And the radius of the bigger circle must be what? Double, right? Double. Okay, double the small circle. So you just take 10 times 2, 20. Right, 20. Okay. So how do you find the big circle area? To find the big circle area, you just take pi r square. Okay, pi r square. So 3.14 times 20 times 20. What am I doing? I'm finding the area of the big circle. Okay, shortcut. What do? You just take 3.14 times 2 times 2, 4 times 100. Okay, shortcut. We don't want to do a lot of working. This is how you do a bit faster. And then 3.14 times 4, you do your working, right? I'm going to use my calculator so you can do a bit faster. If you do correctly, 3.14 times 4 is 12.56. Then you multiply by 100 and you shift the decimal point to the right 2 times. And you will get 1256.0 or 1256. So that's the area of the big circle. So what's the small circle? Pi r square, pi times radius of the small circle and times radius of the small circle. So that will be 3.14 times 100. Okay, so I'm finding the area of the small circle and then shift the decimal point to the right 2 times. And the area of the small circle is 314. So how do you find the shaded area? Takeaway method, right? Take the big circle minus the small circle. So 1256 minus 314, and you get the shaded area. And you will get, okay, so 1256 minus 314, and your answer will be 942 centimeters square. Okay, so this question tests you on how to find area of circle. So you must know how to find area of the circle. Okay, now we go to the question 11. Okay, now Jenny has a box of red and blue ribbons, and the ratio of the red to the blue is 3:2. The total number of red and blue is 30. How many blue ribbons does she have? So ratio method. So what is ratio method? You need to label the ratio. Red is to blue is to total. So the ratio is 3 is to 2 is to 5. Okay, total red and blue is 30. That is 5 units. So how many blue are there? So question mark. So your 5 units is equal to 30. And your 1 unit is 6. And the blue has 2 units. So 6 times 2, 12. So there are 12 blue balloons. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, question 12. And okay, next page already. Okay, and what's the next page? Okay, angles again.
Wait, I haven't finished it.
Okay, all right. Okay, let me just come back quickly copy down so that we can finish on time today. All right, the last lesson, what time did we end? The last lesson, we ended about, that was 2 hours, right? The last lesson. Okay, today we are not going to end at 10 o'clock today. We're going to end at 9 p.m. Okay. All right, later on, if there's any questions, you can stay back, right? Stay back after 9 p.m. to ask, okay, to ask any questions. Okay, question number 12, angles again, all right? There is a lot of angles here. Okay, now in the ABC is an isosceles triangle. So you need to mark out the sides, they are equal. And this angle here and this angle here, they are equal. And then read everything, and put the question mark CAD. So where's your question mark? This is the question mark. And don't care the question mark. Okay, so how do you do? Very easy. Every time you see triangle, then your sum of angles in the triangle is 180. So 180, you minus 40, and you get 140. And this triangle is an isosceles. So you take 140 and divide by 2, you get 70. So this is 70. And this is also 70. So can you find the question mark already? So 70 minus 55, and you will get 15 degrees, which is the question mark, right? So question mark is 15 degrees. Okay, all right, let's go to number 13. Okay, number 13, the figure shows a cube, and the area of the shaded part is 36. And what is a cube? A cube has all square faces. And what is all square? What do you mean by all squares? It means all the sides are equal. So if the area of the shaded part is 36 cm square, then what is one side of the square? How long is one side of the square? 6 times 6. Okay, primary 3. Right, primary 3, you must know how to find one side of the square. You have the area given, then how do you find one side of the square? 6 times 6. Did anybody go and take 36 divided by 4? Then you're wrong already. Area cannot divide by 4 sides, right? Perimeter of the square, you can divide by 4 sides, but not area. So 6 times 6 is 36. And what is a cube? every side of the cube is equal. So can you find the volume? So 6 times 6 times 6, and you will get the volume of the cube, which is 216 centimeter cube. So answer number 2. So did anybody go and take 36 divided by 4? Yeah, I hope if you have, then you must understand that cannot divide by 4. Only parameter can divide by 4. Okay, yeah, Caleb.
I took 6 times 6, then it's 36. Then I just took 36 times 6.
Ah, same lah. It's the same. Okay, same. Okay. All right, let's go to number 14. Okay, now this one. The length of a square is 5 cm. Find the percentage increase in the area of the square if the length of each side is increased to 10 cm. Okay, I'm going to draw a little diagram. There's a method called a diagram. Draw a diagram. So I have a small square and a bigger square. The small square, the side is 5 cm. Okay, and the bigger square, the length is increased to 10 cm. Okay, this is the bigger square. All right, we're going to find the area. So the small square area is 5 times 5. And the big square area is 10 times 10. Okay, right? Then you want to find percentage increase, and you are stuck because you don't know how to find the percentage increase. But what did Ms. Long tell you? Get your fraction, which is very easy. So how to get the fraction? Your numerator is the increase. So how many is the increase? From 25 to 100, that is an increase of 75 centimeters square. Okay, the numerator is the increase. Then what is the denominator? The denominator is where do you start first? Where do you start first before you increase? What is your number at first? Your number at first is 25. So you start from 25 before you increase. Am I correct? Okay, and then what do you do? Okay, then you have to make the denominator 100, remember? All right, times 4, and then times 4. You will get 100, and this will be 300. And once your denominator is 100, then how many percent? 300% increase. So the answer is number 3. Number 3. So this question is very common. How to find the percentage increase? You need to get your fraction, all right? And then use a fraction, make the denominator into 100. And once your denominator is 100, then your percentage is on top, is the numerator. Okay, your numerator is the percentage. Are you clear? Okay, percentage increase, very common. Okay, you will be asked to find percentage decrease also. All right, percentage discount, percentage increase. Same thing, you write your fraction. Okay, number 15, let's go on. The triangle XYZ is a right angle triangle. The shaded parts made of a quadrant and 2 parts of a circle have the same radius. So what's the area of the shaded parts? Okay, you look at the diagram, you can see that the quadrant has the same radius. Oh, and the other 2 parts of a circle also have the same radius. So that must be 10, right? And this is also 10, right? And then this is 10. And then that is also the same radius. All right. So can you find the area of the shaded part? So how do you find? Method: combine the shapes to make something familiar. Can you combine all these parts into something familiar? Like, look at these 2 parts here, right? These 2 parts, can I join them into one? All right, if I'm going to draw over here, if you look at what I'm drawing, and I combine, okay, combine. Does it look something like this? Okay, something like that. Can you see what I'm doing? All right, so these 2 parts, I combine to become a quadrant. A quadrant. And this quadrant and this quadrant have the same radius, so they are identical. So I can combine the 2 quadrants to become a semicircle. I can do even faster, 1 step. Okay, so I combine all these into a familiar shape, and 1 step, I get the answer already. So what's the radius? The radius is 10, and here 10. So how do you find the area of this semicircle? So half times pi r square. And what's your pi? Your pi is 3.14. What's the radius? 10 times 10. Okay, so half times, shift the decimal point to the right 2 times. Okay, because there are 2 zeros in 100. So shift to the right, and you will get half times 314.0 or 314. And then take 314 divided by 2, you will get 157. So what's the area of the shaded parts, which is 157? So what's the lesson here? The lesson here is to combine the shapes into something regular, right? Combine into a quadrant, and then you can combine the two quadrants into a semicircle. That is the method. Okay, that is the method, right? Otherwise, we'll be doing a bit more steps already. Okay, question number 16. Okay, let's go to question 16, open-ended problems. Okay, these are the easy ones. Okay, now, this one, 80 meter, what do you do? 80 meter, 1 meter is 100 cm. 80 meter will be 1800 plus another 2 cm. So that will be 1802 centimeter. But that's not the answer because you have to change it to meters. So 1802 centimeter, you have to divide by 100. Okay, why divide by 100? Because from small unit to big unit, you must divide. All right, small unit to big unit. Okay, how to divide by 100? You have to create a decimal point. And then you have to shift the decimal point to the left 2 times. All right, and how does your decimal look like? 18.02. All right, 18.02 meter after you shifted to the left. Okay, you should be very good at this shifting already. Okay, question 17, how do you divide? Okay, now shortcut, 306,000 and divide by 900. So you cancel 2 zeros and the other number also cancel 2 zeros and you will get 3,060 and then divide by 9. Okay. And then what do you do? Okay, then you have to divide already lah. Okay, so the next step, no shortcut already. You have to 3,060 and then go and divide by 9. So you have 3 times 9, 27. Okay, let's do a bit faster. Then 4 times 9, 36. Okay, and your answer will be 340. Right? So do you get 340? Okay, so that's how you do. Okay, so 340. Clear? Yeah, Suren?
Actually, you can cover the.
You can cover the 0. Yes, you can cover the 0. Okay, you can cover the 0 here. And then you just take 306 divided by 9. And then you put back the 0. Okay, but in some cases, when you cover the 0, what happened? You realize that you have a remainder. So I don't know whether it's a good thing to cover the 0. Okay, but you can try, right? If you have a remainder, what do you do? Then you divide again, but don't cover the 0. Okay, because sometimes you cover the 0, you may have a remainder, right? So be careful. Okay, let's go to 18, timeline. Okay, a movie started at 10:45 a.m., ended at 1:05 p.m. So the method is timeline. And don't do in your head because you want to get all the marks, all right? You want to get as many marks as you can. So you jump to the nearest hour. Okay, nearest hour. And what is the nearest hour? Which is 11. Okay, 11 a.m. And you jump 15, all right, 15 minutes. Okay, everybody knows how to jump, right? So does anyone need me to tell you or need me to tell you how to get 15 minutes? All right, you just take the 0, which is a 60, right? 60, and you minus 45, you get 15. All right, that's how you get 15 minutes. Then get the nearest hour, 1:05. What's the nearest hour? Which is 1 p.m. Okay, then from 11 o'clock jump to 1 p.m. That will be a 2-hour jump. Then from 1 o'clock jump to 1:05, that will be a 5-minute jump. And then you can find how many hours and minutes. So that will be 2 hours and 5 plus 15, that will be 20. Okay, so those of you who get it wrong, I think most likely you do mentally, right? You did mentally. So you must always have a timeline so that you can see all your steps clearly on the timeline. Okay, question 19. Okay, question 19. And okay, find the average number of washing machines sold by the shop from April to June. So when you see bar graph or line graph, you will need to put the numbers on top so that you don't, so that it's easier for you to work out the answer. Okay, so to find the average, what do? You have to find the total number of washing machine. Okay, yes. Okay, who raised hand? Okay, Suren? Suren, question? You raise your hand, right?
No.
Okay, then let's continue. All right, let's not, okay, let's continue. So 3 plus 5 plus 4. So add all the machines together, you will get how many? 12, right? 12 total. To find average, now remember, some of you, you are, you forget how to find average. To find average, you must do what? You must find the total washing machines divided by how many? All right, how many, whatever that you ask, how many months, how many children, all right? So you need to find average, you must always divide. You must have the total, and the total is 12, all right, 12. Okay, let me just write nicely. Okay, the total is 12, and how many months are there? 3 months. So 12 divided by 3. So your average will be 4. Okay, the average is 4. So to find average, you must divide. If you never divide, you did not find average. And how do you find average? You must find the total first. You must find the total washing machines. Then go and divide by how many months. Okay, all right, clear, Alistair? Okay, let's move on to the next one. Question 20. All right, question 20, this one. Okay, method, there's a method here, cut and paste method. All right, those of you who are in my groups, you can use the method cut and paste to what? To find something, to create something more regular, more nice. Like this shape, you can cut and paste here. So now you will have a triangle that's shaded, right? Cut and paste, that's the method. Cut and paste. And then what fraction of the figure is shaded? If you count all the triangles, there are actually 6 triangles, right? This whole rectangle can be broken up into 6 triangles, and there are 2 triangles shaded. Am I correct? Yeah, and then the fraction is 1/3. 1/3 of the figure is shaded. Cut and paste. All right, so cut and paste method is more for area and parameter. And for this kind of question, if you see something like that, you can also cut and paste. Okay, what do you mean by cut and paste? You cut something that is identical and you put it somewhere that's also similar. Somewhere that's also identical, right? So if you look at where I cut and where I paste, they are identical. The 2 shapes are identical. Okay, Wenrei. Yeah, Wenrei.
Can I go, Jonathan?
You want to go toilet now? You want to wait after the lesson? Otherwise, you'll miss the lesson. Okay, so try to go before the lesson or after lesson. Okay, but if you're very urgent, you can go, right? You can go. Okay, question 21. Let's move on. Question 21. This fraction cannot draw model. Okay, if you see a fraction like that, please don't draw model because it's a special fraction. There is a unit there, so don't draw model. So Madam City poured 4/9 liters of water equally to 2 cups. So can you find the water in each cup? So you divide by 2. Yeah, quite easy, right? So do not draw model for this fraction because there's a unit, right? There's a unit sign behind. So what do? You keep the first fraction and change the divide to times. And before that, change the whole number into a fraction first, and then flip upside down. Because if you don't change the whole number into a fraction, how do you flip? How do you flip if you don't change the whole number into a fraction? You need to change into a fraction first, and then you can flip, right? Okay, so then you cancel. Divide by 2 and divide by 2. And then 2 times 1, 2. 9 times 1 is 9. So what is the water in each cup? 2/9 liters. Okay? All right, let's go to the next one. Lee-Wen, got to start your video. Okay, next one, and same thing over here, do not draw model because these are special fractions. So Sean bought 7/8 kg of peanuts. He repacked the peanuts into some bags, each containing 1/16 kg of peanuts. So how many bags of peanuts did Sean pack? So same thing, you take all the peanuts and you divide by how heavy is 1 bag, which is 1/16 kg. So keep the first fraction, change the divide to times and flip upside down. Okay, and then cancel. So divide by 8, put the answer there, divide by 8, put the answer there. And then if you cannot cancel already, multiply. Multiply the numerators and then multiply the denominators. And you will get 7 times 2 and 1 times 1. And how many bags? 14. 14 bags. Okay, all these are basic. There's nothing to do with very hard problems here. So if you have a lot of mistakes, you need to revise, okay? And revise on your basic. Okay, question 23. Okay, this one also percentage. This percentage is talking about what? Look at what's behind the off, talking about her salary. Okay, so every time you see fraction and percentage, what are they talking about? Look at what's behind the off, her salary, which is 100%. And then she had $2,100 left, right? She spent 30% and had $2,100 left. So which means that she must have spent how many percent? 70%. And the 70% is $2,100. Okay, just to remind you, when you have percentage, never put equal. If you put equal $2,100, you will minus marks. All right, percentage cannot have equal sign. You must have what? You must have arrow sign. Okay, arrow sign. Okay, I said very clearly already. When do you have equal sign? You have equal sign when you have units. Okay, units. Then you have equal sign. Yes. Okay. All right. So 70% is 2,100. Then how much did she spend? Which is 30%. Okay, you can jump. All right, you can jump. If you don't know how to jump, then you just find 1%. Okay, you take 2,100 and divide by 70. Take out 1 0, take out 1 0, and then 210 divided by 7. That will be $30, right? Okay, understand how to cancel? And then 1% is $30. 30% or 30 units will be 30 times 30. And that will be $900. So again, how do I write my steps? I write unit statements. All my steps are like unit statements. Okay, 1% is 1 unit, 30%, 30 units. Clear? These are all 1 mark. By the way, this is a 2 mark question, but I think it's very simple, right? It should be a 1 mark question. But sometimes the school is very kind. Right? The school is very nice. They will help you to do well for the exam. So they will give you more easy questions. All right. So I think it's okay. I think the school is helping you to score well for the exams. Okay, question 24. Okay, the figure is made of a quadrant and a triangle. What's the area of the figure? Okay, there's a method here which is done for you already. The method is, okay, the figure is this one. If you see the figure, this is the figure. So there is a method. Okay, what is the method to find the shaded area? The method is split and add. Split the figure into regular shapes and then add them together later. All right, that is what you learn in P4. Split and add. Okay, so after you split already, so can you find the area of this quadrant, which is 1/4 or 1/4 times pi r square. So what is your pi? Your pi is 22/7. What's the radius? The radius is 14 and times 14. Okay, no calculator. What do? Change the whole number into a fraction and then cancel. Okay, so you divide by 2, you get 2. Divide by 2, 11. Divide by 7, all right, you get 1. 14 divided by 7, you get 2. All right, can you still cancel some more? Yes. 2 divided by 2, 1. And 14 divided by 2, 7. Okay, you have to know how to cancel because you don't have a calculator. So this is your method, your shortcut. All right, then you multiply all the numerators, which is 11 times 2 times 7. So that will be 154. Okay, do your working, and then multiply the denominators, which is 1. So what's the area of the quadrant? 154. Okay, that's the area of the quadrant. Okay, then how do you find the triangle? Half times base times height. Where's the base? Where's the height? The base is usually horizontal, the base, and the height is always right angle to the base, the height. So your half times 14 times 20, same thing, change the whole number into a fraction, divide by 2 and divide by 2. And if you cannot cancel already, then you multiply the numerators. So 7 times 20, 140, 1 times 1 times 1, you get 1. So what's the triangle area? 140. And then how do you find the shaded area? Then you just take 154, which is the quadrant, plus the triangle, and you get 294. Am I correct? Okay, so your shaded area is 294 centimeters square. What's the method? Split and add. Okay, split and add method. Okay, you have takeaway method. You also got split and add method. Okay, Jordan.
Yeah, for the quadrant, right, if
If 1/4 times 22/7 times 14 is the area, right?
Yes.
Then what about the perimeter?
Perimeter. Okay, then how do you find perimeter? If you want to find perimeter of the quadrant, then you must find the circumference of the quadrant, which is 1/4 times pi d. All right, 1/4 times pi d, and then don't forget to add the straight lines, because perimeter means what? Perimeter means you add all the sides of the figure. Understand now? Clear? All right. Okay. Okay, let's go to number 25. Okay, let's go on. Okay, this algebra. The total age of Sally and her brother was 15p years old 4 years ago. Sally is 6p years old now. Express her brother's current age. What is current age? It means now. How old is her brother now in terms of p? Now, every time you have an age problem, okay, just remember, every time you have an age problem, it is always, I won't say always lah, most of the time it is a before and after problem. So what's your method? Your method is before and after model, if you don't know how to do. So I have 4 years ago. Okay, 4 years ago. How you want to label is up to you. You can call it before, and then I have the after, which I can call it now. So before and after. So you can change your label. Don't have to use the before and after label. Okay, then Sally, and then the brother, right? So the question never say who is older. So anyhow draw. Okay, there's something called anyhow draw. If you're not sure, you can just anyhow draw, right? Because if you label everything correctly, you will still get your answer. So maybe the brother is older than Sally. And the total age 4 years ago was 15p. Okay, total age 4 years ago. Sally is now, of course, her rectangle is longer, and the brother, of course, also longer, right? So when you draw, you got to draw with common sense lah. Cannot just anyhow draw. So they are now longer rectangles already, and Sally is now 6p. But what do you think is your total age? So how do you find your total age? Now, you take 15p, which is 4 years ago, add 4 years to Sally, add another 4 years to the brother. So what's their total age now? Their total age now is 15p plus 8. And you put down over here. Am I correct? Which is their total age now. Then you look at the after model. Do you know how to find the brother's age in terms of p? So you take the total age now, and you minus Sally. All right, and you minus 6p. Okay, 15p plus 8 minus 6p. And then what do you do? Well, if you don't know how to do, then what do you do? What do you learn? Circle, 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 right? And then put the groups with the same kind, put them together like this. All right, put the groups with the same letters together, and 15p minus 6p will be 9p plus 8. So how old is the brother now? The brother must be 9p plus 8. Okay, clear? Everybody all clear? Huh? Understand? Huh? Okay, let's go on to the next one. Question 26. Okay, 26 angles again. Okay, now rhombus. By now, you must know that you need to put the markings on all the sides. And you also know that a rhombus is symmetric. What is symmetric? Symmetric means you will have two triangles that are identical. And you also know that rhombus have opposite angles that are the same. And we forgot something. You need to put the question mark first. So where's your DHF, which is here? Okay, put the question mark first, and then go and find other angles that are easier to find. So what angles are easier to find? Rhombus have two isosceles triangles. So which two angles are equal? The angles at the end of the two sides are equal. So you must be able to recognize which two angles are equal, right, in the isosceles triangle. So you take 180 minus 72, you get 108. Then you must take 108 because it's an isosceles, so you have to divide by 2, and you will get 54 degrees. So this is 54, that is also 54. And you don't have to think already. I mean, not to have to think, but this is also 54. Okay, and this is also 54. So can you see the two triangles, the two isosceles triangle? They are exactly the same. All the angles in one triangle are the same as all the angles in the other triangle. Okay, then can you find what else? What else can you find? You can find the question mark already because there is a small triangle here. You take 180 minus and minus, right? So 180 minus 54 and minus 23. Okay, so let's work out. Okay, I'm going to use my calculator so we can do a bit faster. So minus 54 minus 23, and your answer will be 103 degrees. You get the answer correct? Okay, yep. Okay, question 27, next one. Okay, coming to the end soon already. Angles again. Okay, we don't see a lot of angles in this problem. Okay, there's a parallelogram. Okay, so arrowheads, arrowheads, arrowheads. Okay, put the question mark, DEC. So where's your DEC? Here. Okay, don't care about this question mark. Look for other angles you can find. How about this one? Okay, so 180 minus 60 and minus 64. And you get the angle. So what number is that? 180 minus 60 minus 64, you will get 56 degrees. Okay, so put down here 56. Whatever numbers you have found, you must put inside your diagram. Okay, anything else we can find? And then some of you may get stuck already, right? Get stuck. Okay, but don't forget something. Parallelogram has opposite angles. And the opposite angles are the same, right? So can we find this other angle here? What is this angle here? You take 64 minus 26. Okay, so 64 minus 26, you will get 38 degrees. So you put down over here. Opposite angles in the parallelogram are the same. Okay, what else? And then you are stuck already, right? You are stuck already. And then you look and still cannot solve. And then someone told you something about parallel lines. If you see parallel lines, right, the angles between them add together is 180. So if you forget this property, you will not be able to solve. You will get stuck. All right, this property will be used to solve a lot of hard problems. Okay, so every time you see parallel lines, the angles between the two lines that are parallel add together is 180, and I can find what? I can find this angle here already. Okay, and how do I do that? You can see that 64 plus 60 plus the angle which I want to find, which is here the angle, that will be equal to 180. So what's the question mark? So you just take 180 minus 64 minus 60, you get 56. Okay, so put inside 56. So can we find the real question mark now? So can we find the real question mark, which is here? So can find ready? So you take sum of angles in the right triangle minus 56 and minus 38, and you get your question mark. Okay, so 180 minus 56 minus 38, and what do you get? You will get 86, right? So your answer should be 86 degrees. Okay, so this angle, 86 degrees. Am I correct? Am I correct? Okay, so when you see two lines that are parallel, what do? Look out for angles between the two lines and they add together equal 180 degrees. Okay, all right, let's go to question 28. Okay, now any mistake that you see, any careless mistake that you see Mr. Ong making, please raise your hand, okay? Because sometimes Mr. Ong may make some careless mistakes, okay? But we try to keep it to minimum, right? I will try to make it minimal, not so many careless mistakes. Okay, question 28. Now, there's a method here. When you unfold something, there is symmetry. Okay, that's a method here. So if you unfold it, can you draw the other side of the symmetric figure? This is one side given to you. How do you draw the other side, which is symmetric? Like this, P4. That's why there's a reason for learning symmetry, right? So you have to draw the other side. So you will see two triangles that look exactly the same. And because they look exactly the same, this is angle M. This is also angle M. If this is a right angle in corners of a rectangle, can you see the corner of a rectangle is a right angle? Then this also right angle. And this angle also the same. So the two triangles are exactly the same. And if this is an area and parameter question, this line is the same as this line. This line is the same as this line. And the two triangles have the same area if it's an area and parameter question. So can we find angle M? Yes, we can find, because rectangle has right angles at the corners, right? So you take 90 minus 26, you get 64. Then 64 divided by 2, you get 32. So what is your angle M? 32 and 32. Okay, got it? That's question 28. Okay, let's go to question 29. Two more questions and we are done already. All right, question 29. Okay, now, okay, this one, this is the one that you cannot solve, right? You have difficulty trying to solve this. Yeah. Yes.
Finish shopping the question.
Okay, hurry. Okay, quickly copy, all right? So that everybody can all rest early. Okay, we can all go and rest early.
Okay, done.
Okay, now question 29, you can't do, some of you have difficulty doing. Those questions that you can't do because it's hard, there is a method. Usually there's a method, and the method is very simple, very obvious model. Why model? Because it's a fraction, right? There's a fraction there. Then the question is, I don't know how to draw. But it's not very hard to draw, because you need to know how to draw the sentence, not how to draw the, okay, how to draw the problem is by drawing out the sentence one by one. Then you will see the whole model, not to try to draw the whole model immediately, right? We always try to draw the first sentence, the third, the second, and the third, and so on. If you look at the first sentence, I don't know how to draw, then don't draw. Nuru paid $9 more than 2/5, and this fraction is talking about what? It's talking about the cost of the present. How to draw this sentence? All right, you should draw a rectangle, which is the present, and cut into 5 boxes. And Nuru paid $9 more than 2 boxes. You should have done something like that. And this is your $9 more than 2 boxes. Okay, can you see? $9 more than 2 boxes. And that is Nuru, right? Nuru. And Priya paid the rest, which is 27. So you tell me, was that hard to draw? Not really, right? And then how much is the present cost? Which is the question mark. Can you solve already? Okay, so
Not
that's
to
your,
solve.
sorry, say again, who is talking?
Not to solve.
Yeah, I can solve already. That's why the model, once you can draw the model, yeah, I think everybody can solve already. One unit, of course, this whole thing is 1 unit, 1 unit, 1 unit. And then you look at the model, you will see 3 units is equal to how much? 3 units is equal to 27 plus 9. And that will give you 36. And then your 1 unit will be 36 divided by 3. And how much is the present, which is 5 units? So 12 times 5. 12 times 5, 60. Yeah, got it? So you don't know how to do, then where's your method? You got to think of your method. And what is model? Model is not to try to draw the whole model very fast. Model is what? Model is to draw 1 sentence at a time. And then it becomes a big model for you to solve. Okay, of course, this is a simple model. When you go to paper 2, then you have a big model to solve already. But this is quite a small model to solve. Okay, let's go to the last question, right? Question 30, right? Question 30, ratio. Okay, there's something missing, which I think this is the shaded part. I think so, right? Yeah, that should be the shaded part. So the figure is made of a triangle and a circle. The ratio of the area of the triangle to the area of the circle is 5:6. And 1/5. 1/5 is talking about what? It's talking about the area of the triangle. 1/5 of the triangle is shaded. What is the ratio of the shaded area to the area of the figure? So there's a method here, ratio method. Okay, and how do you use ratio method? I have told you before that you need to label your ratio clearly. The ratio of the area of the triangle to the area of the circle is 5:6. Okay, all right, do I need to have a total? Must I have a total? Well, you can actually think, does the question need me to find the total? If you're not sure, you can put a total there. Also can, up to you. You can put a total, but I think we should always put a total. So when we do ratio method, I think it's better to always put a total so that we can solve it. Because sometimes the total is important. If you don't have the total, you will get stuck sometimes. So the total is 11. Okay, all right. And then how about the next one? 1/5 of the area of the triangle is shaded. So you label shaded, and there must be unshaded, right? Unshaded part of the triangle. Shaded part of the triangle and unshaded part of the triangle, and the whole triangle is your total lah, the whole triangle. So that will be 1:5:6. So label clearly. When you are using ratio method, you must label very clearly what is what. Okay, nothing, you cannot miss out any part of the picture, right? You have to label clearly. And then you compare the two ratio, and then what do you see? Do you see that there are two similar shapes, but the numbers are different, right? So what should you do? Then you must make them equal. So you times 6, okay? And then here also times 5 to make it 30, make them 30. And then the whole ratio here, you times 6, and then this ratio here, you have to times 5. And then you will get an equivalent ratio, which is 30:36:66. And then this one will be 5:25:30. And once you make the number equal, because they are the same triangle, then you can call them units, right? So all these numbers are all units. And you can ignore the old ratio. Okay, all this ratio you can ignore already. And that's not the end, because your picture cannot be very clean. If your picture is very clean, you're in trouble because you don't know how to solve. So you have to put the numbers into your picture. So this triangle is 30 units. And what's the unshaded? The unshaded is 25 units. And the shaded part of the triangle is 5 units. And where's the circle? The circle is total 36, right? The entire circle is 36 units. If you look at the ratio, there was the unshaded part of the circle, which is 31 units. Okay, so when you have done all this, when you put all these numbers into your pictures, then you can get your answer ready. So what's the ratio of the shaded, which is 5, to the whole area, the whole figure? So 25 plus 5 is 30. 30 plus 31 is 61. So the ratio is 5:61, right? You won't be able to do this if you don't put the numbers into the picture, right? So after you make them equal already, what must you do next? Transfer the numbers into the diagram and then can solve already. Okay, are you clear so far? Okay, let me just have a quick check because the answer key is 1:10. Okay, we saw the answer key, which is 1:10. Okay, is there a mistake somewhere? The figure is made of a triangle and a circle. The ratio of the triangle to the circle is 5:6. Okay, let's have a quick check because the answer key is 1:10. Okay, so you have 5:6, nothing wrong over here, 5:6. And 1/5 of the triangle is shaded. So you have 1/5, which is 1, okay, 1 unit is shaded and 5 units is unshaded. Okay, we saw the mistake already. Okay, you didn't see. Okay. Can you tell me the mistake?
You're supposed to take 5 minus 1 and
yeah, you didn't. Okay, yeah, you didn't tell me. Okay, anyway, Mr. made a careless mistake here, and I think you made, some of you also made the same mistake, right? Some of you. Okay, yeah, we all made the same. We all made the same careless mistake. Okay, let's erase everything. Okay, and but it's a good chance to what? It's a good chance to revise. Okay, to revise. Okay, for those who are not clear, okay, now it's a good chance to what? It's a good chance to revise again and understand how you do it, okay? So let me just go through this one more time. Okay, all right, so again, you have to label, okay? So label your ratio clearly. So the area of the triangle to the area of the circle. So you have an area of a triangle to the area of the circle, and that's a total, right? Total. Okay, so the ratio is 5:6:11. Okay, now 1/5 of the triangle is shaded. So you have to break up the fraction into ratio. How do you break up the fraction into ratio? So shaded, okay? So yeah, 1 unit is shaded and there's an unshaded, okay, unshaded and there's a total, which is the triangle. Talking about the triangle. All right, not 5, huh? Okay, it's not 5. The total triangle is 5 units. So this part we make a mistake. So the total here is 5, and the unshaded is 4. Okay, this is the correct ratio now. Okay, once you have these two ratios already, then what do? Then you compare the two ratios, and do you see something similar? All right, for those who are not clear, this is a good chance to revise. There are two similar shapes, so they are equal already. You're supposed to make them equal, and they are already equal. So we don't have to do any changing. We don't have to make them equal. They are already equal. So it's actually very simple. It's much easier. So you can call them all units. Okay, all units. And then not done yet, because you still can't solve it. You have to transfer the numbers into the diagram. So the triangle is how many units? The triangle is 5 units. And the unshaded is how many units? The unshaded is 4 units. And the shaded is 1 unit. Okay, the shaded. And how about the circle? The circle is 6 units. And the unshaded circle must be 6 minus 1. That will be 5 units. Okay, so this is what you must do. You have to transfer into your picture. Then you can see more clearly. So what's the ratio of the shaded, which is shaded is 1 to the unshaded, to the whole figure, all right, the whole figure. So 4 plus 1 plus 5. And finally, we get the answer ready. 1 is to everything. Okay, 1 is to 10. Okay, are you clear now? Is it better now? Okay, yeah, those of you who you look at the screen and you copy and you never see something and you never raise your hand. Okay, so can everyone just be a bit more, be a bit more attentive, and if you know that there's something wrong, just raise your hand. It's okay. All right, and then Mr. will just correct the mistake lah. Right? Okay, so it's all right. Okay, any questions for today's lesson? Are you clear about today's lesson? Very simple. This paper is actually not very hard. There is a lot of angles problem. It's a good chance for you to score quite high for this paper. But if you have a lot of mistakes, then you need to revise your concept. How do you revise a concept? You have to do again, right? Do the paper again to make sure that you can get the same answer, and how to get the same answer. So you have to look at the video, all right? If you forget. All right, any questions? If there's no question, then you can stay back after the, if you have any questions, you can stay back after the lesson. Otherwise, I'll see you the next Monday. All right? No questions? Okay, goodbye. See you next Monday. All right, see you next Monday.
Bye.
And, yeah, goodbye. Anyone wants to ask me anything? Nobody. Nobody want to ask me anything.
Isn't that good? You can rest earlier.
Yeah, then Mr. can rest early also.
Bye.
Okay, goodbye. Goodbye, Jared. Goodbye, Caleb. Okay, goodbye, Wenrei. Okay, goodbye, everybody. Yeah, yeah, Jared. Yes, Jared.
I've got a question.
Okay, what's the question?
How do I multiply 3 digit by 3 digit?
You don't even try to do it because we never teach you. If we never teach you, then don't do it. All right? Okay, how do you multiply 3 digit by 3 digit? The question will be something like this. Okay, will be something. If you really have a 3 digit times 3 digit, all right, if you really have that, it will be something like this. Okay, let me see. It'll be maybe something like this. I don't know. Something like this, right? Okay, something like that.
No, there's no zeros.
Oh, then you can't do that. Then we won't give that in the exam. Okay, we won't give this in the exam. All right, so, okay, this one, I don't think we will give this in the exam. If we give this in the exam, then it's something like enrichment already, something like the extra special kind of question.
Because I was doing circle, then I was using the manual working, and then I did. Then I need to do the working 3 digit by 3 digit.
Oh, then you're doing something wrong. There could be something wrong already. Yeah, you should not have 3.
But then in the end, the answer was correct.
Okay, that's very weird, huh? Is it because when you do circle, right, 3.14, what was your step? 3.14 times, is it? Times, I don't know, times, what was your step? What do you write?
I need to get the book first.
Also,